With the Premier League and FA Cup in their pocket, Manchester City are one game away from securing the treble as they take on Inter Milan at the Champions League final tonight. Only one English team has ever completed the feat before, cross-city rivals Manchester United in the 1998-99 season. City's dominance of the English soccer landscape is undisputed, but they can finally become kings of the continent later tonight. On the other side, Inter will be happy to wear the underdog tag as they did in 2010 when they had ambushed Bayern Munich. Good evening, I'm Sarah Chitrakar and these are the headlines of the hour. NC President Deuba says the constitution must be amended to what he says improve the electoral process of the proportionate representation. Leader Koirala says the PR system has dented the party. The anti-graft body alleged of only trying to nab individuals involved in small-scale corruption, hesitant to even investigate the cases involving high profiles. 4 children miraculously rescued by Colombian armed forces. The children reportedly spent 40 days in jungle after their plane had crashed. And all eyes on treble chasers Manchester City as they take on Inter Milan in the finals of the Champions League. The match slated at 12:45 a.m. kickoff Nepal time past midnight. Nepali Congress President Sher Bahadur Deuba has said that the constitution must be amended to what he said improve the election process of the proportionate representation. Inaugurating the Bhaktapur District Assembly of Nepali Congress, President Deuba said that the constitution must be amended with 2/3 majority in the parliament to amendment proportionate representation. Deuba attributed alliance politics as the base behind Nepali Congress emerging as the largest party. Meanwhile, Congress leader Shekhar Koirala said that the mixed election process had further weakened party. He said that there was no alternative to improving the election process. Koirala expressed discontent over the government's effort to put the district election office under the chief district officer. Hinting towards the amnesty given to former lawmaker Resham Chaudhary, Koirala said that the president's move against the Supreme Court's decision had dented the democratic values. Leader Koirala warned that the party will be wiped out if the number of intra-party factions keep on rising. The Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority, CIAA, is responsible for investigating irregularities in the government entities and filing cases against them. However, the corruption watchdog has remained busy with investigations on small cases for a long time. The CIAA has yet to conduct investigations on high-profile cases that have been filed. Meanwhile, those concerned have doubted that the CIAA can work in a fair and free manner, while officials at the federal entity are being appointed based on power share. 18,000 complaints have remained stranded at the CIAA at a time when criticisms are rife regarding the rise in corruption and irregularities in the country. Complaints of corruption from local level to the federal government have been filed at the CIAA. However, investigations are being done at snail pace. In the meantime, the leadership of the federal entity has been dragged into controversy. The name of the head of the CIAA has been connected with the fake Bhutanese refugee scam. This has slackened the entity's work. Questions are being raised on the appointment process of the officials at the CIAA amid its disregard to the high-profile cases. It is speculated that officials at the CIAA are accountable towards their employers rather than fulfilling their duties. Corruption control has remained a far cry as the officials at the corruption watchdog are busy protecting themselves and those who had appointed them. The investigations conducted by the CIAA on small cases too are incomplete. The CIAA has lost 71% of the total cases filed during the ongoing fiscal. This raises question on the efficacy of the only constitutional body that is responsible for controlling corruption. Debates have intensified after the government included in the budget a plan to conduct study on marijuana farming for medicinal purpose. A group had conducted an awareness rally in the capital's Maitighat demanding to legalize marijuana for commercial purpose. The participants demanded the government to conduct research and commercialize marijuana. They say that the country's economy can be uplifted by marijuana farming. They have said that youth can be attracted towards agriculture sector through marijuana farming, while it could also generate income and employment opportunities through production of medicines. Farmers of Tarai Madhesh region have been hit hard amid a prolonged dry spell during the farming season. Farmers who had been preparing for farming season have become worried as they are facing difficulty in preserving seeds amid soaring heat. Farmers who were dependent on rainwaters for cultivation have now been compelled to pay exorbitant prices to irrigate their fields. Farmers who cultivate beans and vegetables have also been affected by lack of timely rainfall. Baglung District Court has issued verdicts on 666 cases within 11 months of the ongoing fiscal year. The court had a target of issuing verdicts on 615 cases within this fiscal. Baglung District Court held a press meet and informed that verdicts were issued for 666 cases out of the total of 986 cases that have been registered at the court. 389 cases were registered last year, while 519 cases had been registered this fiscal year. The highest verdicts issued on 256 cases were regarding cases of divorce. Likewise, verdicts were issued on 75 cases related to property, 46 cases of rape, 29 cases of theft, 24 cases of corruption, and 21 cases of threat to life. Time now for our segment, Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question. What's your take on giving validity to marijuana farming? Your options are A, threat of misuse, B, essential for medicine, and C, a way of income generation. Voting is on. Type any WS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Time now for international update. The 4 children rescued by Colombian armed forces after spending 40 days lost in the jungle arrived to Bogota on the early hours today. After the plane carrying the children landed, 4 ambulances were waiting to collect them and take them to a military hospital for specialist medical care. The plane also transported indigenous authorities and elements of the armed forces who assisted in the rescue missions, as well as the children's father, Manuel Ranocchio. They had been missing in the jungle since a Cessna 206 carrying 7 people on a route between Araraquara in Caqueta and San Jose del Guaviare in the city in Guaviare province issued a Mayday alert due to engine failure in the early hours of May 1. The children were found near the crash site in the Caqueta province. Colombian authorities are currently working to find the rescue dog, Wilson, who went missing during the mission, but are aware of the difficulty of finding him in the jungle, Sanchez said. 3 adults, including the pilot and the children's mother, died in the crash, and their bodies were found inside the plane. The siblings aged 13, 9, 4 as well as a now 12-month-old baby survived the impact. The suspect in the knife attack, which injured 6, including 4 toddlers in the French Alps town of Annecy, left the police station to be presented to judges today. The 31-year-old Syrian national suspect was seen exiting the police station in a wheelchair before entering a black police car. The suspect had been in police custody nearly 48 hours after being arrested over the attack, which took place at a children's playground. A video of the attack taken by a bystander showed the silent jump a low wall into the children's playground and repeatedly lunge at a child in a stroller, pushing aside a woman who tries to fend him off. French President Emmanuel Macron said on Friday that 2 toddlers who were gravely wounded in the attack were in a stable condition and doctors were optimistic for their recovery. Al-Shabaab militants claimed responsibility for an attack on an upmarket restaurant inside a hotel in the Somali capital of Mogadishu yesterday that left at least 9 dead and wounded 10 people. The attack on the popular Pearl restaurant in the Pearl Beach Hotel happened early yesterday evening. According to the state news agency, Somalia's security forces cordoned off the area, conducted an operation and took control of the situation. In a statement issued today, police said 9 people were killed, including 3 security forces, 10 others were injured and more than 84 people were rescued by Somali security forces in the Pearl Beach Hotel attack. Authorities said that many civilians were rescued, including Hussein Saddam. Al-Qaeda-linked Al-Shabaab said it was behind the attack. In November last year, the group, which controls swaths of the country, attacked another hotel in the Mogadishu, killing 9 people. Al-Shabaab once controlled a vast area of Somalia before being pushed back in government counteroffensives since last year. However, the militants remain capable of launching significant attacks on government, commercial and military targets. Some flights were delayed at Tokyo's Haneda airport today after 2 passenger planes collided on the ground near a taxiway, Japan's public broadcaster NHK reported, citing Japan's transport ministry. Footage from the scene showed the 2 Airbus A330 aircraft stopped side by side at the scene of the accident before the jet belonging to Taiwan's EVA Air was towed away. No injuries occurred, NHK said, but the incident led to the closure of 1 of 4 runways at the airport at about 11 a.m. local time. The runway later reopened. The EVA Air and Thai Airways jets had been due to depart Tokyo for Taipei and Bangkok respectively. Before wrapping up, here's a look at the top stories once again. NC President Deuba says the constitution must be amended to what he says improve the electoral process of the proportionate representation. Leader Koirala says the PR system has dented the party. The anti-graft body alleged of only trying to nab individuals involved in small-scale corruption, hesitant to even investigate the cases involving high profiles. 4 children miraculously rescued by Colombian armed forces. The children repeatedly spent 40 days in jungle after their plane had crashed. And all eyes on treble chasers Manchester City as they take on Inter Milan in the finals of the Champions League. The match slated at 12:45 a.m. kickoff, Nepal time, past midnight. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.